Unfortunately, many of us, probably most of us who identify as Jewish, are not actually doing our job as Jews. Our job, what we are tasked with as Jewish people, is to proclaim the unity of the divine, to proclaim God's oneness, and to manifest it in our beings, to embody it in action in this world. The challenge is that this task is the most difficult task and challenge for humanity, for human beings, any kind of human being, any spiritual human being walking the spiritual path of any tradition. And unfortunately, we do not have a lot of teachers of the Jewish faith who are practically teaching us how to do this, practically teaching us how to live as the divine embodied, how to live in a world where we feel and express the unity of God, the unity of creation. The Kabbalists, some of them, the great Kabbalists, taught this. Rabbi Yehuda Ashlag in particular was a phenomenal teacher of this path. But unfortunately, many Jews do not understand our true task of what it means to be Jewish. We're here to see the divine in all things and in all people, in all creatures, in all of existence. We're here to see and feel the sacred within all things. This task is so deeply challenging because we are conditioned to see life as normal, to see life as mundane, to not recognize the miracle of existence, the miracle of being a speaking, thinking animal on a planet floating in space. We so get wrapped up into our identities and into our mind wanderings, into our images and words that we place over reality, that we are blind to the beauty, the majesty, the wonder of each moment. We don't live present lives. We live lives lost in thoughts. I myself do this. I am with you. I'm not speaking at you. I'm speaking to myself as well. The challenge to be present, to stay connected with breath, to stay connected with the sacred in each moment. This is the great human task, the great human challenge, and it is also in particular our task as Jewish people. Through this task of union with the divine, of recognizing God's unity, proclaiming God's unity, meaning that all is one, that all is God, we are tasked to love the world around us, to love our fellow as ourselves, v'ahavta l'reacha kamocha, to love our neighbor or our fellow as ourselves, as an extension of the divine. We're all here in this magical mystery, this beautiful reality. We're here to see the God in each other and to love that in each other, to love the divine mystery shining through each of us, that spark of the divine which is our soul and the soul of the other. We're here to see that and love that in each other. That's our task as Jewish people, to love the world, to love the other as we love ourselves, as ourselves being an extension of the divine. And maybe that is part of the challenge in this task, to love the other as ourselves, is that we don't know how to love ourselves, and we're not taught that. Again, these core teachings to being Jewish, we're not taught how to love ourselves, how to see ourselves as an extension of God, how to open ourselves to the wonder and the mystery, the majesty of each moment. We're not taught how to be more present, how not to be guided by and live behind our thoughts, to allow our thoughts to be the ruler of our bodies. These are the teachings that are of most relevance to being Jewish, and yet I don't see them being taught. I see people being taught how to keep the commandments, or how to be culturally Jewish, ancestrally Jewish. But to be an awakened Jew, I very rarely come across these teachings. This is a tragedy and a travesty. I grew up in an Orthodox reality. This was not what I was steeped in. Another hard thing is that this love of the other has to start both with ourselves and inside of our family units, which may even be harder than it would appear. The habits that are formed within family patterns, the ways in which we relate to each other, it's a symptom of the disease of our culture. Not seeing the other through fresh eyes, not honoring them as a divine manifestation, but relating to them as an ego, as an identity in which we are bound to in habitual relational patterns. This is where it starts in the home and then it extends out into the world. We need to bring a focus on loving our family members, those we live with, more dearly and deeply, as challenging as that might be, to find and cultivate deeper patience, to breathe, to take a beat and breathe before responding, to make that our sacred task, our spiritual work. These are the challenges that we face, and these are the true acts of divine service. We need more than anything to focus on love, on living from the heart instead of from the mind, on seeing the divine and being the divine. There is no other way. There's no miracles are going to save us. Only deep spiritual work, hard effort to transform the way we see ourselves and the way we live on this planet. What will help you commit? What will help me commit more deeply to patience, to presence, to love? Let me know your thoughts. Share within this small cyber community. Together we are stronger. As we light the Hanukkah candles, we recognize that one light can light many lights without diminishing its light. And in fact, the light just gets larger and brighter. We're here to bring light into this dark world. We must choose our reason for being here. We must choose our sacred task. We must choose to live that purpose daily, moment to moment, to make it our priority, the priority of our existence. There is nothing more meaningful and fulfilling than choosing a path of God, a path of service in this world. I bless you, and I hope you'll bless me back to have the strength to commit more deeply to this practice, to commit more deeply to loving the world around you, the world around me, to seeing the God in each other and in ourselves, and being that light in this darkened world.